Small business owner check. This is my name. This is the name of my company. This is what my company does. This is why I love what I do. This is an accomplishment I'm proud of. This is where you can find me online. And if you're a small business owner, introduce yourself in the comments and let's support
Wow.
Wow. So welcome to another rendition of I See at the Dinner Table. We've been 7 minutes going strong, and my production handle has been a little bit off today, but nonetheless, we are having chicken, rice, and camp.
We've been muted this whole time talking to y'all. This entire time.
At www.simplyshondell.com. We apologize to our sponsors for our lack of production.
Hey sis, you came right on time. People can actually hear us right now. I love you so much.
So
yeah.
I was turning my volume up like I can't hear.
Yeah.
My apologies.
This guy over here.
So
let's start over. So tonight we are having baked chicken, brown rice, and kale. We've been eating because the show has been going on, and we've just been talking. But yeah, so guess we should tell what we're talking about again tonight.
Yeah, so we are talking about growing up as an athlete. As both of us have.
I tell you, boy.
Both of us.
If we did this whole show on mute, I'd have been so pissed with you.
Yeah.
I might not have talked to you for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So pissed.
Well, needless to say that we've gotten past that hump.
Okay, I'll let you live. I'll let you live it down. I guess we can just reiterate what we talked about.
Yeah. So
we're student athletes growing up. We are now parents of athletes, future athletes coming up, and we're stepping into that role now of the sports mom and dad, traveling, going places with their kids, practices and things like that. That was a cute little story at the beginning that no one heard. I'm not going to keep referring back to it. I'm sorry. But I did say that I played basketball from the age of 12 up to the age of about 23, and then I got back into it a little bit later, closer to 30, and then was forced into retirement. And Timone was saying how he had a lot of different influences growing up that made him want to play. So at like the age of 5, I think that's what we figured out.
We was on mute.
Yeah.
So the dribbling story, that's what we figured it out.
Yeah.
But I started loving basketball, sports really at the age of 5. Basketball mainly was my quote unquote first love. Mainly because like I said, I was idolizing my father. And at the time, Michael Jordan was dominating, except he couldn't get past the Pistons, UNLV, running Rebels with LJ, Stacey Ogden, and whatnot that infatuated me. And I wanted to play. And my mom and dad went out to teach me, and they told me try to start dribbling. And they told me one way to dribble is to say bye to the ball. And I actually pounded the ball and waved bye to it, like a high bye. So needless to say, my mom and my dad shook their heads. It was like we were on a long way of making this happen. But needless to say, started out in the rec leagues and whatnot, and was pretty good for my age, especially with me being tall, if I would say so myself. But
so you started playing at what, around 5? You say you started getting into it?
That's not even necessarily leagues. It was more so like the love for it.
Okay. So let's say, what age can you remember being in your first league?
3rd grade.
What age is 3rd grade?
What age is 3rd grade?
Yeah.
So 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So you were like an 8 and under type league? Okay.
Well, so 9 and under.
Tell us about that experience.
That was first team was the Celtics, and one of the players, dad was a coach, and we were horrible. Yet it was myself along with Troy Purnell, who I actually played with later on down the line in high school with. Me and him was on the team. A few other people. We were sorry, but I remember scoring every game. So that was awesome. It was just whether it be 1 bucket or 2 buckets, 3 buckets. I was a third grader in the fourth grade league. Fourth grade, felt like I was the best player on a mediocre team. I ran the point, I ran the center. I was doing everything. I was shooting threes, and just knew I was going to be on my way.
Okay. What about, see, my story don't start till 12 years old. I'll say why. I grew up in Virginia. We moved to Delaware, and I started 4th grade up here. I ain't know nothing about basketball other than my brother playing out in the backyard. My mom would try to make me go out there. So I guess, my mom would tell me to go out and play with my brother. I didn't like him, so I didn't want to go play with him outside. He would be playing with the neighbors and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to play no stupid basketball. So I didn't go. Or if I did go, I was outside just playing in dirt. But from what I knew of, I didn't know about any leagues or anything. But again, I was little, so I don't know. I don't know if my brother played in anything. I can't remember. But moving to Delaware, still wasn't interested. I didn't get interested until I was forced into it as well. So yeah.
I definitely wasn't forced into it. I think I'm not gonna say I forced myself into playing football. Basketball more so gravitated to. But even at that age, it was a confidence thing, knowing that like you played a sport and went to school, and like the kids that you went to school with played in that same league. So it's like kind of trash talking in the sense that even at that age, and different things that would happen. I can remember one time where a friend of mine, I'm not gonna say his name, stole the ball from his teammate to get a bucket, and that was a classic laughable moment, still to this day, that we could tease him about. But
I feel like all kids do that.
No. that was, he actually stole it from his teammate. That was one of the coldest things. I said, man, that guy is determined. He is. But
so I was very close to 5'9" in 5th grade. Yeah, so I was tall, just as tall as my mom in the 5th grade. So by the 6th grade, I had a gym teacher who taught basketball. I don't even remember like if she had like a team and that's how she got into it, or if it was something that she wanted to do. But she was holding basketball practices for girls because she wanted to push girl athletes. She was holding basketball practice. And she used to tell my mom, shout out to Miss Parker. Miss Parker down in Dover. She is
shout out Miss Parker.
Legendary. But she would tell me every day, tell your mom we have practice after school, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, I'll tell her. I didn't want to play, so I never told my mom. And one day, she was telling me this for like weeks. And then one day, we saw her in the grocery store. And she was talking to my mom. She spoke to me, and then she introduced herself to my mom. And I'm just standing there like, hey, Miss Parker, I'm nothing. Wasn't worried about any other conversation, thinking I'm just going to walk away. She was like, I keep telling Kim about practice. I'll be hoping that I'm going to see her there. And my mom was like, what practice? And I'm standing there like, yeah, what practice? What's happening here? She gave my mom the whole rundown of practices, and I was like, that's the thing. I kept making excuses. I would tell her that I didn't have a ride, my mom had to work, all of that, just so she would stop asking me. Talked to my mom. My mom was like, oh, I can get her. She can stay. And Miss Parker was like, if she stay, I can get her home. I ain't got no problem with taking her home. I'm like, dang, man, I don't want to play no dumb basketball. So that's how my basketball career started, because I started staying after school for those practices, and Miss Parker, true to her word, took me home on the days that my mom couldn't get me. And then the next thing I know, that was 6th grade. So then I got to 7th grade, and because I was so tall, everybody was like, you should try out for basketball, try out. And I tried out just to shut people up because I'm like, I know I'm not good. I know I'm not going to play. I mean, I know I'm not going to make the team. And not only did I make the team, but I was a freaking starter. I was like, dang, okay.
Why was that such a bad thing?
I didn't want to play. I did not want to play. But then I realized we traveled with the boys team. And I was like, oh, okay.
Fresh.
It wasn't that fresh. It was just fun, like, actually get to see people outside of school because life was just go home. Like, I only went to my friend's house. I didn't, like, party or anything that young. I wasn't going anywhere. I was even scared to be in the Black History play because my mom was strict. So, like, knowing that it was girls and boys traveling together, it was fun. The boys team was fun. So, that's how my basketball career started.
No.
Well, wait. I also did track. You mentioned football.
Yeah.
I also did track, but I didn't get started in track until 7th grade as well.
Okay.
I knew that I was fast, but I didn't put it together, like to run track. I didn't know anything about track. But I ran track my 7th grade year. No, I knew about track because of my brother. My brother ran.
Okay.
But I went out for the track team. You don't have tryouts for that. You just go. Went out for the track team, and I was actually good at it. It was like really, really good at it. And then I tried long jump. So I did track and field. I was a sprinter, which a lot of people were shocked that I was so tall. And I was a big girl. Not like big, but I was a big girl. I was bigger than everyone else, and I was 5'9". But I could move. I had some speed. And a lot of people were shocked that I was fast. And I did shot put and long jump.
You was just a triathlete.
So that was fun, though, just figuring out what I wanted to do in 7th and 8th grade. Because I do remember, I think it might have been 8th grade. I actually, in long jump, I jumped long enough to qualify for the states meet. And I was only in middle school. So, yeah. I was able to qualify for states, but I was in middle school. And my coach used to be like, if you were in high school, you would be doing long jump in states. I never told you that?
No, I don't recall that at all.
Wow. I was good at it. But then my knees started not liking me so much. Because I was going to do long jump in high school.
Yours too?
Yep. I was going to do long jump in high school, but I think I tried triple jump one day. And I went to do the triple jump and that knee buckled. It's like, nope. I need my knees for basketball.
Did you, where I think the rocky road went, where my basketball career, I guess, would say went left, would be two things, actually. In 6th grade, I got in trouble, and I'm going to just leave it at that. And my mom did not want me to play in that part of my punishment was me not playing in that league, the local rec league or whatever. So then I understood that school correlated with sports because now this whole league is playing, and I thought I was one of the pretty decent ones. I would say above average at that time. And me not playing that season just kind of took everything what's left. And
you got in trouble at school? Or you got in trouble at home?
At school.
And you don't want to tell nobody why you got in trouble?
No.
Oh, okay.
This one, yeah, okay. All right.
Can you make it quick?
No. This one sound real fat. I stole cookies. I stole cookies.
Aw.
I stole cookies. And I got caught. So.
You stole them at the school?
Yeah.
I'm asking some questions.
It happened. It was in the lunch line. Needs to say, I stole cookies.
That's
but
funny.
because of that, I couldn't play basketball in the rec league, which in turn, rec league was like popping at that age or whatever. Like that was the thing to be in when you were in that grade, 6th grade. And needless to say, with Seaford, the type of program that it had, like you kind of knew I'm not gonna say they scouted you, but like they kept their eye on you, and you pretty much knew who was good and who was okay, who was what at that time. So going into 7th grade, junior high, I wanted to play junior high, and it was a thing to where, first of all, I ended up being the team manager for football. I didn't even play.
How? What happened?
I didn't even really have, my heart was really never in football. It's just that I was just this big guy. I'm like, yo, I really hoop. I don't play football. Like, then they got me on the line. I'm like, I'm going to be tight end. Shout out to Dwayne. Dwayne was the tight end. He was killing it, yo. He was killing it. I remember we beat Dover at Air Force Base. I think that might have been like the only team. Needless to say, basketball. I went out for the team, and
what grade we at?
7th grade.
Okay.
2 days before found out final cuts, I quit, and then come back and was told that I was going to make the team.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. So
it's all right.
You've
learned what to tell your kids not to do.
Yeah.
A life lesson came out of it. You didn't even know it.
Boy, a whole lot of life. I mean, to never quit, and your reputation precedes you. So, I mean, needless to say, I don't think my reputation with Super Basketball was quite the same after that. 8th grade, I didn't make the team. 9th grade, I missed too many practices, so I missed up on the freshman team. And
you gotta say why you didn't make the team in 8th grade, because I was sitting there like, you didn't make the team. I forgot we talked about this.
Yes.
He takes too long. He didn't make the team in 8th grade because the coach was like, "How I know you're not gonna quit on me again? You quit last year when you did make the team." Yeah. Long story short,
So they made the team in 8th grade. What were you doing in 8th grade? Well, you already said. What about in basketball?
So basketball, I sucked. I sucked bad, and that's how bad I sucked. I remember, I will never forget. We scrimmaged. We had Tyrese Smith on the team, and that was like the whole team. Everything revolved around Risa because we all sucked. She was good. We all sucked. But I'll never forget. We scrimmaged the boys. One practice. This was in 7th grade, so it's 7th and 8th graders. We scrimmaged the boys, and I could not buy a shot. And these jerks, I guess they was trying to help me out, but these jerks, at one of the plays, we came down the court. My team was on, the girls was on offense, boys was on defense. They playing this, and as soon as I got the ball in the post, all these bastards dropped to the floor. And I was like, okay. I turned around and like, there's no defense. So I shoot the ball, and I missed. And I got the ball, and I shot it again, and I missed.
Oh.
And I lied to you not, I probably shot that ball 10 times and missed all 10 times. I got so mad I just walked off the court.
You need it, huh?
That was like, they fell down to the ground. I had 3 shots, and I still couldn't make a shot. That's how bad I was. And I did not want to play. And, I mean, of course, though, I got better and better. And then I get to high school. 8th grade, of course, I was starting in 8th grade. I get to high school, and I was like, let the cards fall where they may, because I suck. And I think they did have a freshman team at Polytech.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say they had a freshman team at Polytech. But when at the tryouts, I checked the freshman list. And I didn't see my name on it. And I was like, dang. And then I checked the JV list. And I was like, dang, I didn't make JV either. Mm-hmm. I didn't check the varsity list. Somebody told me I made varsity because I was like, how the hell I make varsity? Me. I suck. How did I make varsity? But I did. I didn't start freshman year, though. It took a few games for me to start. And then, actually, I almost quit freshman year because my coach, one of the games, I'll never forget the play. Risa was driving to the basket. I was trying to back my girl out to clear lane for Reese. And she tripped over my foot going up for a layup, and she fell. And of course, ball went out of bounds. I think my coach called a timeout. He started yelling at me on the sideline. And I was trying to tell him, like, I was actually trying to clear my girl out like y'all told me to.
Right.
He was like, "You shut up when I'm talking to you." And I was like, oh, okay. So I stepped back. Next thing I know, my mom was standing behind me because it was a home game. The entire gym went silent, like dead silence. You could hear a mouse piss on cotton. And everybody looked. And then I was like, I was trying to tell you, and he yelled at me again. And he was like, "You don't want to be here. You get off my bench. Don't threaten me, because I'll go." Because I went and walked up the bench.
Good time.
I got off the bench. I took my jersey off and everything. We went in the locker room. Let's go, Mom. My mom was standing there. She was like, "I want to talk to you after the game." I was like, oh, shoot. What's about to happen? But if it wasn't for Dina Dempster's dad, Mr. Dempster, he stepped in and he talked me into not quitting.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that I had a bright future. He talked me into not quitting because that would have been the end of my basketball career, or I would have transferred. But come to find out, so many parents, more parents from the other school than our school, wrote the I guess the athletic director, which was him, the coach.
Wow.
And then the president of the school. They wrote all of them to tell them how bad he disrespected me and how they felt for me at that game. So I got a public apology from him because of how bad it was. I was back on the team, and things was pretty cool from then on as far as him yelling at me. Like, I could take somebody yelling at me, but to get in my face and scream at me so loud that the gym goes quiet, I was like, nah, this ain't it. Because if you know anything about me, you can get anything from me that you want, as far as like you wanting me to do something for you, but don't scream at me. You yell at me, you might as well just start talking to a wall, because I'm done. I ain't got nothing to say, because I know I can't fight. I can't fight you back. Can't hit you or anything, so I'm done. But needless to say, yeah, I played varsity all 4 years in high school. I think I don't know if I started I think I started halfway through freshman year, because he seen how good me, Risa, and Dina were, like, played together. Big three. And then the rest of our high school career, all three of us were captains of the team. I think I might have been, I don't know if I was a captain sophomore year or not. Probably junior. I don't know. It's been so long now. But high school was dope. I played almost all year round because I played AAU basketball as well. And did track in high school. Freshman year, I joined track. Was I supposed to jump to this? No. Freshman year, I joined track. My brother was actually at the school as well, and he's a senior. So our plan was for us to run together, because I was fast and he was fast. We were going to run together, and he came to a couple practices, and he was like, he always called me Moot. He was like, "Moot, I'm done. I need a job. I got a baby. I need a job." And I was like, "Well, we were supposed to do this together." Right. He was like, "I got to get this money." Went to the next practice, and things was not the same without my brother there. And I was like, I quit. I ain't doing track no more. And I quit track. And then I went back out sophomore year and just killing it. And then the coach loved me, and he had me spoiled, because there would be days I wouldn't go to practice. If he said, "Come on, sprinters, let's practice," I'd be like, "Coach, I'm going over to shot put. I'm going to go work on my field events," because I was lazy. I didn't want to run. So I was spoiled there. But yeah, I did basketball November through February? Because we went to the playoffs each year as well. Don't do that. We went to the playoffs each year. I did track in the spring, as well as working. I started working, I think, in 15. Whenever I could get those working papers. Lord, son, the boy. I started working, and I would work after school, after basketball practice. So I would go school, practice, whether it was track or basketball, work, home.
Wow.
And I did that for about 3 years in high school.
You had an adult type life.
Well, senior year, I co-opted, which meant I went to work during the school day. So I would go to work from 8 to 11:30 in the morning, get to school by 12, finish out my day at school 12 to, let's say, 3, practice, work, home. Just about every day.
How many hours of sleep did you get?
That's probably why I don't sleep now. I don't know. I'm so used to running off for like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I kept my grades up. I stayed on honor roll for most of the
Listen, man,
so.
what do you think was the secret to all of that?
I actually wanted to. I had goals. I wanted to. I liked keeping my grades up. I didn't like feeling like I didn't like having my grades split. I ain't gonna say I ain't never get a C or D. I think I might even got an F on one of them, one of my classes. But for the most part, my grades were good. My GPA throughout my whole college, high school, ended up being a B overall out of all 4 years. So I didn't do too bad. But it was just I wanted to do good. I wanted to get good grades because my mom, she was just like, listen, if you're trying, I can accept the grades that you bring in here. I'm not going to require you to bring straight A's. I'm not going to require you to make honor roll, but I am going to require you to try and put in your effort. And I think that's why I do. That's why I am like, listen, if you're trying, we cool. We can work with that. But I just had the goals for myself as far as keeping the job because we broke, man. We woke up, we grew up. We weren't poor, but we was broke. And there was things that I wanted. And then after I started working and was able to get some of the things that I wanted and go places, it was like, it's a must. I have to work because I'm not trying to put all this on my mom.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, it was just goals that I had. And then because I was good at the sports and getting accolades through the sports, that felt good as well. So I wanted it.
Well, on the opposite end of the state, in the opposite end of the spectrum, my high school career when it came to sports was up and down. The highlight of my moment in I guess high school was actually just playing varsity basketball, and being able to actually make it my first time trying out in high school. Not trying out, but more so just like on that level because I didn't try out my sophomore year, and as we talked about my 10th grade year already, but 11th grade was decent. I was on a team.
Rashima.
We had
my friend
Rashima. Shout out to Rashima.
That's not her real name.
Okay.
I call her Rashima.
Oh,
she called me Duga.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Funny.
But I also had a job as well. I worked at the Manor House, which is a nursing home.
What's that?
Also worked at Hardee's as well.
We don't have time to go over all.
We're not doing that. But needless to say, I did work. I did play sports. My senior year was I tore my meniscus and I got surgery on it. What's crazy is that I got my MRI on 9/11. I remember that day specifically because they was talking about it on the TV while I was at the hospital. Then when I left and went back to school, it was all over the TV. And I actually had my surgery on my birthday that year, which is this month, October.
October 23rd. It's about to be 50.
Hey, man. So, needless to say, I had my surgery on my birthday. I ended up actually going to football game that night, which I don't think helped in recovery.
Nope. That's why you still don't listen.
And then 3 weeks later, I was attempting to practice.
Against whose orders? Your own?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, no.
You did this on your own merit?
It was a little bit of my own merit and the fact that I seen the bigs that we had coming in, and I knew that like I had to get. Okay. There was a certain goal that I had in mind as far as senior year and what I wanted to do, and it had nothing to do with the coach or anything like that. I really just wanted to have film that I could actually send to the school that I wanted to go to. So that way he could, the coach, which at the time was Coach Butch Beard at Morgan State, could actually have some sort of film on me, knew that I wasn't going to get a scholarship. However, I just wanted it to be known that whenever I stepped on that campus and I got accepted for my academics, that you know who I am coming in when I'm trying to walk on.
Understood.
I
think we need to back up a little bit too.
Okay.
Because the way you tell it, you didn't play 7th grade, you didn't play 8th grade, you didn't play freshman. Did you play freshman year?
Nope.
You didn't play freshman year, you didn't play sophomore year. Played a little bit junior year? Okay.
Junior year was really the only year I really played.
And see, that's why I wanted to back up, because you actually played street ball all your life. Like blacktop.
I guess you could say that.
And that's where your skill developed at. Because in leagues and stuff, like summer leagues.
I was always ready to play ball. Like,
that's what I'm saying though. You were talking about trying to go to college and you've never played organized basketball other than your 11th and 12th grade year. It's unheard of unless you've been playing basketball in different leagues and playing out on the blacktop and everything.
Right.
That's what I wanted to clear up.
Yeah.
Cause bruh, the way you said it's like you just manifested in your mind that you were going to go to college and play ball.
You're
like
right.
It doesn't work like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was always playing basketball wherever I was at. I think that whether it be like at my grandmother's house in Greenwood or out Chandler Heights or wherever there was a basketball court, I was there. So needless to say, like when I tore my meniscus, that really like messed up everything in my head. And the fact that like when I look back on it now, like it was like 3 weeks and I'm trying to practice.
And then you got kicked off the team senior year.
We're gonna get to that. Okay. So yeah, senior year. Pretty much I knew I wasn't playing because of my knee, time, players' bodies, availability is the best ability to have. So Polytech and Seaford. I went to Seaford, she went to Polytech. Girls was like number 1, number 2 in the state. And we had a game versus Polytech at Polytech. Their game was at Seaford. I said I want to see them play. So needless to say, I stayed and watched them play. My coach said you can no longer play on the team, which I'm like, I wasn't playing anyway, so whatever the case may be. And needless to say, I seen my future wife out there giving work. And needless to say, I really think that the peak of my athletic career happened when nobody was looking. And I really feel like that was during like my college years, even coming out of college. And I mean, the only people that can vouch for that is the people that I went to college with. And the battles that we had with even some of the guys that played on the team and Hurt Gym, and just knowing that the talent level
that's the name of the
gym.
I thought you were saying that they played Hurt.
No. But needless to say, I think I was a mediocre to above average player, athlete that did play football and basketball. But one of the things I would tell kids nowadays is to have work ethic. Work ethic is always going to get you everywhere, regardless. Don't ever quit. Stay motivated and believe in yourself. I did not believe in myself. And when I actually did, it was when nobody was really looking, and I didn't even fully believe into myself, if that makes any sense. But, I mean, you live and you learn. And, I mean, of course, there's times to where me and my wife will talk about high school, and I'll get upset about coaching decisions and different games and whatnot, because at the end of the day, I felt like that was my one shot, and I had a plan, and something derailed me that was out of my control. And that, to me, at a young age, I couldn't really fathom that, like, I'd heard of, like, torn ACLs in football and whatnot, but here I am, my senior year. Like, that's the year that you're thinking, like, goals, everything is accomplished, and for that to derail, it was something that it was a hump that you got to get over, and you just live and you learn. And I've definitely learned a lot of lessons from that going forward.
Good. You know, I went on to play college basketball, and it was like my experience started all over again, just like high school. My freshman year, about to quit. I was about to quit because my coach, I had one practice. For some reason, okay, let me back up. I got recruited to play at Goldie Beacom College during the All-Star game for high school, which for the most part is unheard of because that's in April. Mm-hmm. Most of the people have already chosen which school they're going to, got their scholarships. I had nothing. Part of the reason I didn't have anything is because it was I'm going to say allegedly, my high school coach was throwing away the letters and things that he was getting from other colleges that for me, Risa and Dina. I say allegedly.
Oh,
but that is what I was told, and that is what someone has seen. So needless to say, my sophomore and junior year had tons of letters. I still got the letters as like memories, mementos, the word. I still got all those letters. There's so many different colleges that was interested in me. And then, of course, like your senior year, I don't think they can contact you anymore. Mm-hmm. They couldn't contact you anymore, so they have to go through your coaches. I got not one letter. And it just so happened that at the All-Star game, I guess the season was over, a coach reached out to me. I don't even know how she reached out to me. But either way, 1 second. Go. Either way, he the coach, however it went down, I don't remember. The coach got in contact with somebody. I went to go tour Goldie Beacom. So she recruited me. She wanted me on the team, gave me scholarship, get there for conditioning. This lady had it out for me. I feel like, I don't know, she's a Facebook friend, so she might see me, she might not. But I felt like she had it out for me. I was like, why does she hate me? What did I do?
She's seen the greatness in you.
And that's what she told me at the end of the season. But there was one practice. Mind you, we had 6 a.m. practices, and I stayed on the injured list. So I had to get there at like 5 sometimes to get treatment. 6 a.m. practice as a college student, I was like, this cannot be life. It was 6 to 8 every single day. Practice. One day we were running laps or something, and no, I don't know what happened, but we ended up getting in trouble and having to run. She ended up running beside me, asking me, I don't know if she was asking me questions or telling me to shut up. But I guess I got on her nerves because I can be a smart ass. I got on her nerves that day, and she was like, get out of my gym. I beelined it, right? We was running. We got my stuff, hit that locker room, and was out. I was like, you doing me a favor. I'm going to bed. But she kicked me out. I was like, so do I go to the next practice? Am I off the team? Because at this point, I'm cool if I'm kicked off the team because I can't do this. But I ended up being the workhorse for the team, I feel like, because our the senior center, was she a senior? She was a senior. She got hurt, so I had to take her place. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't stay out of foul trouble, so I literally averaged I averaged like 15 minutes a game, but I ended up averaging, I don't remember what my average was, but I had 400 and some points on the season, and I only played like half a game each game. I had the highest points scored in one season for the longest time.
Wow.
My freshman year, man, it was a workhorse. But they got better. She actually left the team my freshman year. And she sat down and she actually told me she was on me the whole season because she saw so much potential in me and she wanted me to push myself. And I was lazy. I didn't like to run. I didn't like to do it. I didn't want to do it. College was a whole nother thing for me. But then I had a different coach each year until my junior year. Mm-hmm. So each year was like starting over. Whole process. Like it really means something when you have, especially when you're in a program, you know, you're going to be there for some time.
Mm-hmm.
To have different coaches each time is
Yeah.
always like starting over. My junior year, I was about to quit.
Mm-hmm.
My mom went through some things,
Mm-hmm.
and it just wasn't fun for me anymore. Basketball became a chore for me, and I was like, I'm over it. I don't want to be here. I'm about to just quit basketball. I'm about to quit school. And the dean of students showed up at my door at my dorm room. It's like, you're not quitting. We're going to do this to help you and your family out, but you're not quitting. I was like, but I don't want to play. It was like, but you're playing. Like, okay.
It sounds like,
So I played.
sounds like they might.
I really was like, how y'all gonna make me play? I don't want to play anymore. They would not let me quit. They helped us out. They helped my family out and whatever we were going through. My senior year, man, I couldn't wait for it to be over because it was such a chore, such a chore. I had an opportunity to go overseas with one of my teammates, but I was like, I have 2 classes left. I'm lazy. If I leave and go overseas, I will not get this degree. And I was like, and I'm tired of basketball, so I'm gonna stay here. I was like, it doesn't mean that much to me anymore. I'm gonna stay here and get this degree and see what that be like.
What do you think took the fun out of it?
I think constantly being hurt for me because I've had treatment and pain. This is all from college. My shoulders, ankle, both ankles, both knees, my back. It was like in constant rotation and something was hurt or torn. I even broke a finger. Like, so I was constantly out for something. One season I had to wear a boot the entire season because I had developed plantar fasciitis, which is in the bottom of my foot. So I literally had to walk all day in a boot just to be able to practice for 2 hours and sustain and be able to practice without much pain. By the end of practice, I had to go right back into the boot. An entire season. So I think overall, just the pain in the treatments and things that I had to go through, I was like, yo, I can't do this. I can't do this. What was that?
I don't know. But that might just be our cue
To wrap it
to
up.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like I had said before, that I really think that if I had upped my work ethic a little bit more, and I had it in spurts, if I also just stayed out of trouble and had a mindset like a tunnel vision in a sense, I think things would have worked a lot better, to where I would have been even in a better position heading into my senior year. And even if I tore my meniscus, I may have had certain situations. I mean, certain things I think about as far as like maybe even if I should have even gone to Seaford High School is a question that I've thought to myself quite a few times. But needless to say, the route that I chose is the route that I chose.
Right.
And I can just say that for parents to always stay involved in kids, and when it comes to sports, don't let them quit when they start. Allow them to finish it unless it's like a complete torture. But kids, youth, stay motivated, stay perfecting the craft. If you start to love it, go at it hard, stay focused. You have plenty of time for other things. If you stay focused on that ball or that racket or that golf club or whatever it is, can take you a lot of places that you've never been before.
And meet a lot of people. I can say I met a lot of people on my journey of not even just track with basketball, because I did travel basketball playing in different states. You meet a lot of dope people that you actually end up being friends with. It's funny because I'm Facebook friends and actually communicate with some people that I played against in college, and I met them from playing in college. So it's definitely a dope experience to be an athlete, a student athlete, whichever sport you choose to play, because you meet a lot of people, build a lot of meaningful connections, and you learn a lot of life lessons.
Definitely.
A lot of life lessons. So I'm very excited to take this journey with the kids.
Definitely excited. So thank you for tuning in. We ask you to like our Facebook, subscribe subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, as you see on the banner below, we ask you and anyone that you know that loves beautiful polymer clay earrings
She's scared. I don't know if you can see them.
to visit www.simplyshondell.com.
Right now, I'm actually running a promotion for the month of October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so just doing a little promotion where you get 15% off.
It ain't little.
15% off your entire purchase. If your purchase is over $50, you also get free shipping. But this year, Breast Cancer Awareness Month hits different, and that's another thing. When you're, I think they do it in high school too, but in college they also do awareness for breast cancer through the month of October through sports.
Right.
So this is near and dear to my heart now. A lot of you may or may not know I lost my grandmother to breast cancer back in March of this year. So it's now very, very near and dear to my heart. So check out the website. Got some new earrings on there, some old favorites as well. You can get a 15% off discount.
Definitely. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the
Thank
support. And tune in not Wednesday, next Wednesday. As we will maybe get a little deeper into some other things. We'll see.
I'm with it.
But until then, salute. Shalom.
Shalom.